Up the mighty Bucks. It is Talking Buccaneers with me, Fumane, outside at the sound of chirping birds because newsflash, Orlando Pirates has won in Cape Town with the green kit. You can tweet that one. The narrative is always that we don't win in Cape Town, but so satisfying today. We went away, won 3 points with 2 good goals. And you see it in Jose Rivero's face when we score that first one, just the relief of getting the ball in the back of the net, because it looked like it was going to go where the wind blows when we're in Cape Town, and the wind blows heavily towards this narrative that we fail to win when we're down there. And we turned that on its head today via, a brilliant Mofokeng and a brilliant Tsogfatso Mabasa and a brilliant Talent Mbata and a brilliant Thabiso Sesane and a brilliant Kapinga in a certain moment, a brilliant Kabelo Dlamini in moments. And just like that, we got the points. And credit to the boys, all of them wearing that green kit. All of them, credit to them. They've got the points for us, and this is what we want. This is the Orlando Pirates we want, that gets the points, even when things look like they're not going to work out. So something I spoke about before this game, in my preview of this game, is that I thought that for us to get anything out of this game, it's going to require for us to be good out wide, because, just the way that they set up sets the game up that we're going to get a lot of space behind their wing backs or their full backs, whatever you might want to call them. That's where we're going to get a lot of joy with the way that we play and the way that they play. And so I thought that, someone we might need in that starting 11, Munapule Saleng, unfortunately he wasn't there. I hear that he's ill and so was replaced by Kapinga in the starting 11. We obviously miss Patrick Maswanganyi, but Kabelo Dlamini plays in that number 10. Rather, Kapinga plays in the number 10, Kabelo Dlamini plays out wide, and they keep interchanging positions, especially in the first half, even a little bit in the second half. Mofokeng plays out wide. And so game starts and I'm looking at that key battle. And the first thing you see as soon as the game starts is that Pirates are targeting that space behind Mkize. 36-year-old Mkize, worth mentioning, versus 20-year-old Mofokeng in behind him. And he gets a lot of joy. And actually, that's the only way we are looking like we're going to create anything, is that we kind of pass it around, in our build-up phase, pass it around, and then almost overload the one side where Kapinga comes this way, Talent Mbata is this side, and then a ball goes diagonally towards Mofokeng, whom I think just in those opening minutes, you knew that he was in the mood today. And at the end of it, definitely puts out a performance of a 27-year-old who's a seasoned professional, and that's just what Mofokeng does. That's just his thing. He's a 27-year-old, 20-year-old who's got the experience of a Premier League player, just in his dribbling. I mean, he has his sort of rough edges as anyone would. He's not perfect, but his rough edges look very polished for that age. And that's the battle for Orlando Pirates, because they're not giving us a lot of space centrally. In fact, Kabelo Dlamini and Lesedi Kapinga are limited to almost no touches in the first half, and they look so frustrating because you start to miss Patrick Maswanganyi when that game starts. Especially, contrasting Kapinga and Maswanganyi is that Maswanganyi, what he'll do is he'll come on the ball and he'll attract men. Right, he'll come deeper and he'll attract men by doing that. But he's also very good with the movement and he'll receive balls in there. Kapinga's very good at that sort of thing, don't get me wrong. Kapinga is someone who can dribble and sort of, shimmy around with his body and get past people. Don't get me wrong, but you can see just, I don't want to say the golfing class, but just how influential Maswanganyi has been and how crucial he has been for us and how well he has been playing, because Kapinga's not receiving anything. Not even Kabelo Dlamini is receiving. Someone who's on the ball quite a bit is Tim and Talent Mbata. And both of them are, playing that long sort of diagonal towards the left side. And our left side there, right, behind Mkize, and we're getting those one-on-one, 1v1 situations. Mofokeng behind Mkize taking on Cupido, who got substituted after about 26 minutes with an injury, but already at that point he'd seen that he's got a Herculean task to try and stop the young Lebohile Mofokeng. But we make nothing of those situations. Tsofatso Mabasa is limited to a few snapshots and touches outside of the box, which we know he doesn't want to be there. He wants to be in the box, putting the ball in the back of the net. But in the first half, he's restricted to touching the ball outside of the box. Anything he's getting is a snapshot at a sight on goal, and it's either blocked or comfortable save for the goalkeeper. And very frustrating first half, to be entirely honest. Not much from Thabiso Munyane on the right going forward, not much from Dion Hotto going forward as well. Just those rare glimpses of Mofokeng trying to create something for us. But Cape Town City are dealing with it well enough, and I'm sure Eric Tinkler will have been a happy head coach at halftime, the happiest one, because I think Pirates were frustrating. In fact, we're even very slow. I think our problem in the first half is that in as much as we're trying to, we look like the better team, we look like we're oozing with confidence, but I think our approach is failing us in that we're not getting, our creative players on the ball. Part of it is because I think we're moving the ball at a very slow tempo. I think the few chances we get to get in behind them is when we up the tempo, people are playing one touches and we get in behind them. Other ways in which we are able to carve them open is someone taking his man on and dribbling past him, because it then frees up that space. It frees up one more man. Mofokeng is helping a lot in that regard, in that he's having to be marked by two people, Mkhize and Cupido. And so, Cupido vacating that space is leaving, this chaos for Cape Town City in defense, because they're moving around and we almost get glimpses of getting a chance in that way. But I think we do it nowhere near enough. We play at a very slow tempo for my liking, and Mofokeng, he gets those chances to dribble past people, but either we get a corner out of it and nothing more. So I think Jose Rivero is frustrated at that. But piece of brilliance, because sometimes you can't keep a good man down. In the second half, in fact, we score two very similar goals, and I think the first one is the most important for obvious reason, in that it unlocks the game a bit. Kabelo Dlamini presses and he wins the ball as, Cape Town City are trying to attack. As they're trying to build this attack, Kabelo Dlamini quickly snatches the ball and passes it to Kapinga. Kapinga with one touch, and I think there he shows his brilliance, Kapinga, as a player, in that, sometimes these players will want to then dwell on the ball as we're trying to counter-attack. But as soon as Kabelo Dlamini wins it, he plays it to Kapinga, who then, he doesn't even dwell on it, and he plays Mofokeng, whom, Cape Town City are now scrambling to kind of get men back. People are wondering, okay, who's marking who? They're trying to look around. And while doing that, Mofokeng, he's only got Mofokeng eyes that none of us could have seen. That pass, a very well played through pass to Tsofatso Mabasa, whom is very known for, his great movement, also his finishing. He plays him through, and then Tsofatso Mabasa puts the ball in the back of the net, as he does. So 1-0 up, and you see the delight in Jose Rivero's face, just going up front, opening the game, because that game is key, because then Cape Town City then are a bit more open. In the first half, Slacha and Petrus are sitting right on top of their centre halves, the three, sort of back three players that are playing in the middle for them. Slacha and Petrus are sitting right on top of them, and there's no space there. But as soon as we get that goal, Slacha got substituted off. They replaced him with Goedemoen, but they're trying to be a bit more offensive, obviously, as you will, after conceding a goal. And then that kind of opens the game a little bit more for us to see a bit more glimpses of these attacking players for us. Kapinga comes a bit more in field, and Dlamini is also a bit more in field. Thabiso Munyane is more offensive on that right side, which looks great because we get a couple more opportunities. But the way that the second goal comes is that very similar to the first one. We win the ball as they're trying to build out, as they're trying to make this attack. Cape Town City. Thabiso Munyani then sort of counter presses after losing the ball. And just like Kapinga in the first goal, Kabelo Dlamini doesn't dwell on the ball. He plays it with a one-touch again to Relebogile Mofokeng, whom, as Relebogile Mofokeng does, is that he sees what, some might have not seen it, especially with the camera angles from the TV. We might have not seen that brilliant run or lack thereof, in fact, lack of run by Tshegofatso Mabasa. And as a brilliant striker, he will have known not to run in that situation, because as the Cape Town City defenders are sort of scrambling to get back, he just stalls his run, Tshegofatso Mabasa, and he doesn't run towards the goal. And in stalling his run, he's then free for Mofokeng to, kind of find him with not really a cutback, but a simple pass, and he blasts it into the back of the net, and we get that second goal. And, happy people, jubilant times for us, very happy times. And, for me, there's not a lot to say in this game. I don't think we played the most brilliant football. I mean, we scored very good goals. But I think the highlights for me of this game is that Mofokeng just shows again his stature in the game. I think, by the time Relebogile Mofokeng is 22 years old, he's if South Africa has some kind of Ballon d'Or to give, I think he's at that level. Just because of how, game by game, it seems like he no longer shows flashes of brilliance, but he's showing a consistent kind of quality now, where he looks a bit stronger. He looks a bit more confident about his ability. I mean, that was something that always, stood out about Mofokeng, in that he knew how good he is as soon as he was promoted. But now you just don't even feel like you're playing a teenager. I mean, everyone talks of him as a teenager, but really, he's such a guy who looks like a seasoned pro who's playing out there for Orlando Pirates, Relebogile Mofokeng. I don't think people like Otladisa and Hoto are getting a sniff at that left wing the way he's so influential for us now. Just his take-ons, his passes, his dribbles past people, second to none, really. And I think it would be someone who's a serious hater to not want to admit to that. But just really, really brilliant at Relebogile Mofokeng. And I think for me, I know Tshegofatso Mabasa gets the goals, but I think for me, Mofokeng, throughout the 90, he's my man of the match. He's my man of the match, clearly, by some distance. I think very well done for Mabasa to get his 2 goals and keep that search for the Golden Boot going, catching up with Ikram Reyners. But I think, Mofokeng is the one that stands out. His performance, his dribbles, his forcefulness, his quality, just his sheer quality as a young kid is amazing. But I don't even think it was a performance of a young kid doing well. I think it was just a good performance overall. And that's sort of the highlights for me. And the biggest thing is that when things don't look like we're gonna score, we kept the clean sheet and we got the goals that got us the win. And so we keep things moving. Now, we go back to Chippa United. I hear that we'll be traveling to Joburg. So I don't know about the validity of that. You can fact check the commentators who announced that on the TV, that Pirates will not be actually traveling to Chippa United. They'll be coming back to Joburg first for this Thursday evening, and then I think they'll be traveling down to go to Chippa on Friday to then play them on Saturday. I'm looking forward to that. I think this momentum, we've got to ride it. I think it sets us up for a good encounter against Chippa United, who rested a lot of players ahead of our Nedbank Cup semi-final against them. But let me not sit here for too long. It is getting a bit dark. The birds are going to be quiet very soon. So I think it's a good note to sign out. Up the Mighty Bucks. Cheers. I know you're craving some more of Talking Buccaneers content. Well, I have great news for you. If you hit that subscribe button right now, you'll stay up to date with all our future content.